सम्मेलन में हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ, बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करती हूँ। देवी सज्जनों, हमें गर्व है कि आज हमारे बीच इतने प्रतिष्ठित नेता, विचारक और परिवर्तनकारी व्यक्तित्व उपस्थित हैं। हमारा 101वां सम्मेलन एक ऐतिहासिक मील का पत्थर साबित होगा, जो बौद्धिक सहयोग और दूरदर्शी विचार विमर्श का प्रतीक है। पिछले 100 सम्मेलनों में हमने विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में महान विचारकों, नीति निर्माताओं, अधिकारियों और विशेषज्ञों को एक मंच पर लाकर परिवर्तनकारी संवादों को प्रोत्साहित किया है। ये सम्मेलन नवाचार के केंद्र रहे हैं, जिन्होंने नीतियों को आकार देने और हमारे समय के महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दों को संबोधित करने में बहुत ही सशक्त भूमिका निभाई है। ये असाधारण उपलब्धि ज्ञान को बढ़ावा देने, परिवर्तन को प्रेरित करने और एक बेहतर भविष्य के निर्माण के प्रति हमारी अटूट प्रतिबद्धता को दर्शाती है। 101वां स्कॉच सम्मेलन देवियों सज्जनों केवल अतीत का उत्सव नहीं है, बल्कि उन कहानियों को आकार देने के लिए हमारी प्रतिबद्धता का प्रतीक है, जो हमारी दुनिया को परिभाषित करती है। तो पुनः आप सभी का हम हार्दिक अभिनंदन करते हैं, स्वागत करते हैं। To begin with, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome our esteemed speakers and panelists of our first session who are right now on days with us. Let us put our hands together and welcome everyone here. I welcome Professor S. Mahendra Dev, Chairman, Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister. Sir, I welcome you. Professor R. Kavita Rao, Director, National Institute of Public Finance and Policy. Ma'am, we welcome you. Dr. M. Ramachandran, Distinguished Fellow, Scotch Development Foundation and a former Secretary, Government of India. Sir, we welcome you. We also have the valuable presence of Mr. Samir Kochhar, sir, our Chairman, SKOCH Group. Sir, namaste, swagat. And we also have Mr. Rohan Kochhar, sir, founder, SKOCH Law Offices. देवियों सज्जनों, इससे पहले हम कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाएं, आप सभी से निवेदन करेंगे, आप सर्वसम्मति से आदर सहित अपने स्थान पर राष्ट्रगान के लिए खड़े हो जाएं. I request everyone in the house to kindly rise for national anthem. I request everyone to kindly rise for national anthem. देवियों सज्जनों, अब राष्ट्रगान होगा.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा, उच्चल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मागे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे, जय 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 हे.
आप सभी से निवेदन करेंगे, आप अपना स्थान ग्रहण कर लें. Ladies and gentlemen, now with this, now I request Mr. Samir Kochhar, sir, Chairman, SKOCH Group, to kindly deliver the opening remarks, sir.
Well, namaskar and good morning. Welcome to this 101st Scotch Summit. It takes a very long journey to reach where we have reached today, and we have the privilege of people from all over the country being present here with us today, from honorable ministers from states to people from districts, from people from Panchayati Raj institutions. It's a very wide eclectical presence, but it's all of you together that make India work. So my opening remarks today is about federalism, because the first conference that we're doing is on the subject of intersections of democracy. Democracy is an intersection. Democracy actually in a country like India is a negotiation. It's an ongoing negotiation between centers and states and the local bodies. And only with this negotiation is what would deliver to us the dream of Viksit Bharat, which we define as a country which has got high income, which is a 30 to 40 trillion dollar economy, per capita income of 18,000 to 26,000. There is no extreme poverty, it has been eradicated, and there are no regional disparities, which have been eradicated through targeting aspirational districts, guaranteeing universal access to health, education, sanitation, and digital infrastructure, and establishing global leadership in innovation, sustainability, and governance reforms. Now, how is all of this going to be delivered? It cannot be delivered without very active participation from the state governments, because finally India is a union of states, and the sum of its parts has to be greater than the whole. So if you look at India's federal revolution, we started off with a control and command economy till the 70s through the planning commission. 91 onwards, when the liberalization was ushered in nationally, states also got very active, and they started, very proactively addressing investments, doing development, and so on and so forth. And that is how you saw the miracles that were Gujarat and Maharashtra, and they kind of arrived as industrial hubs. 2015 onwards, again, there has been significant federal restructuring, exemplified by the 14th Finance Commission's devolution of 42% and the establishment of the GST Council. Now, GST Council is a best practice as far as we are concerned in terms of effectively negotiating between center and the states, and I think that is something that needs to be replicated across many domains. If that is done, then it's a battle half won. So if you look at what are the principal challenges in center-state relations, first is the vertical imbalances. A lot of social sector expenditure is to be done by the states, but their taxation authority is limited. More so after GST, there is very few areas that they can tax. There are horizontal disparities. There are pronounced divergences in per capita income across states. There are centrally sponsored schemes which are very good. These are the schemes that are delivering. These are delivering where the states have failed. But there are other states where they have done well, so they are performing well there also. However, if there is some leeway available for them to structure them more in tune of their development priorities, is a desirable way forward. Intergovernmental institutions for this dialogue largely don't function currently, other than the GST Council, which is the only success example. Interstate Council has been mostly dysfunctional, and that there is a need to create more spaces for dialogue, because only this dialogue is going to deliver Viksit Bharat. So what are my recommendations? Recommendations essentially are that if you look at the Finance Commission, could we perhaps look at the Finance Commission becoming a semi-permanent or permanent body? Could we rationalize the centrally sponsored schemes, in the sense that could some of the well-performing states have a larger say in how a centrally sponsored scheme is to be implemented in these states? So the model there could be the GST Council model. While formulating the centrally sponsored scheme, could the states also be consulted extensively and customized to various needs? There is also a need to do a national fiscal council. The CSS, of course, could also be divided thematically. Mission clusters such as human capital, livelihoods, and infrastructure, which will give a higher degree of focus. Institute a National Fiscal Council, an autonomous statutory entity tasked with monitoring macroeconomic fiscal indicators, evaluating policy ramifications on central state equilibria, and offering impartial arbitration and compliance evaluations. This is a difficult recommendation, but it is something that we would submit that if government could consider, and if there is, with some guardrails, this can be done. Fortify the Interstate Council, mandate quarterly convocations with dedicated committees addressing urbanization, climate adaptation, digital inclusion, and fiscal governance. So these are some of the things that could be done. Public finance needs to be harnessed for enhancing state capacity. So there could be performance-linked borrowing and incentives. For example, 0.5% of GSTP contingent upon reforms benchmarks, which is going to help everyone. Refining borrowing protocols, which is augment transparency and scrutiny of off-budget liabilities and guarantees. There are quite a few of them in the states. And modernization of public financial management, bolster state proficiencies in outcome-oriented budgeting, digital treasury operations, and real-time expenditure monitoring. So these are my humble suggestions. Of course, I am no expert in this subject. The experts on the subject are with me on the dais, and this is only for their kind consideration that these are some of the things that the government may look at. With that, I invite Professor Mahinder Dev to come and give his inaugural address.